I'm so stupid. I'm not good enough. I'm not able to do this. Do these sound familiar? Does it sound like something that you will hear in your head? If so, stay tuned. Hey, I'm John, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Elevation. If you're new here, I'm John Evans. I'm a life and business coach, and I help you elevate your mindset, but in the easiest possible way. So, in this episode, we're going to be looking into negative self-talk. What is it? What can we do? And we're looking at 5 examples, tried and tested with my coaching clients, which have helped them get out of that negative state, deal with these things quickly, and move on. So stay tuned for these. I hope you find these useful, but let's get into this. So, do you find yourself you're dealing with an internal critic, a negative voice that is expressing their view on your capabilities? Negative self-talk is something that most of us experience from time to time, and it comes in many different forms. It can be positive and it can keep us in check, but also it can create significant stress. So sometimes this inner critic can be helpful. So if you're like me and you're constantly searching for the haribo, and that voice is telling me that I shouldn't, I'll listen to it. But often the critic's views are based on my capabilities, which aren't so helpful, as it can easily swing me into a negative state. So let's look at this as an example, right? So say I went for a job interview and I was really excited and this was my dream move. And they said, no, you're not the right fit. I might find myself witnessing my negative critic saying, you can't get this job because you're not good enough. You'll never be able to get this. So what this does is it dampens my beliefs on my capabilities, which can mean that I wouldn't want to approach something similar because I have already experienced rejection, that my critic is telling me something which may or may not be true. So that way, if a similar job opportunity arose in the future, I'd remember that time of that rejection and I'll immediately think that I'm not good enough. So the more of these episodes that we face encountering the same negative self-talk, the more that we think it is true. So let's look at it from a real life example. Walt Disney. Right, Disney was fired as a young man from his newspaper job for a lack of good ideas. Then he started his first animation company in 1921, but that quickly went bankrupt. So he ended up eating dog food, like literally, to survive. Can you imagine being in third person right now? You have a goal, it doesn't work, you hit rock bottom and you live off dog food. Now, if you were in Walt Disney's shoes and you wanted to make another animation company, what do you think the negative critic would be saying right now? Would you keep going? But that is exactly what Walt Disney did. So in fact, he had to restart several times after that before finally becoming successful. So you see, if you're in that position, would you have continued? Could you imagine being in this situation and experiencing negative self-talk? See, what effects would that have had on him? Even though he had negative self-talk, he didn't listen to it and he kept pursuing. And the rest, they say, is history. So if you are experiencing negative self-talk and you want to combat this, then here are 5 ways that we can help. I use these methods when coaching clients and I immediately see a shift in their state. So firstly, number 1, change the tone. Over-dramatize it. By changing the tone of the internal negative self-talk, we'll take the negative tone away. So by making it a comical voice will mean that you won't take it seriously. So say you mess up in work and your critic is saying, you're so stupid. Use a voice over the critic like you're dubbing it with a comical voice. So for example, say you mess up in work, then you get your voice saying, you're so stupid. Change it into something stupid as well, like, oh, you're so stupid, or you're so stupid.
You're so stupid. You're so stupid.
Turn it into a comical voice. will mean that you won't take that voice seriously. And by doing that with every single situation will mean that you'll find humor in the situation, because we're all human, we all make mistakes. But by turning it into a comical tone will just mean that you can just laugh it off, move on, find a solution, and get back into a positive state. Number 2, change it to the past tense. So many clients that I coach say, I can't do this because of X. So use it in the past. So for example, I'll never be able to get that job because I'm not capable. Change it to, I used to think I was not able to get that job because I thought that I wasn't capable. So if, say, for instance, you're pursuing something or you want to pursue something and you think you're not good enough, then put that into a past tense. State to yourself, I used to think that I was not good enough because I thought that it was that. If you put it into the past, will mean that those thoughts are now behind you. And now you think, okay, well, I used to think this. I don't think this anymore. This is what I think moving forward. You'll find a positive solution into that. So you're turning that negative self-talk into a positive solution. So let's look at the truth in the critic here. Challenge it head on. See, question yourself to find out if this is actually true. How do you know you can't? What evidence do you have? Turn yourself into an inspector of your thoughts, and then you'll soon find out if that critic is lying to you. The way that we process thoughts, when we try and recall upon them, a lot of the times it isn't actually true. We're fabricating the actual reality. So if you think that you're not capable, and your voice is saying, you're not capable, you're not able to do this, you're so stupid, question it, find out if it's actually true. I'm not capable? How do you know? What evidence do you have that I'm not capable? Then you'll find your mind trying to search for a response to your questions. And to be honest, they probably won't find any. Or if they do, it means that you can recall upon it, learn from it, and move on. So you're using it as also a solution. Disassociation. So if you say that you cannot do this, you won't be able to, you can turn this into a third person perspective, like you're talking about someone else. By this method, you're analyzing it from another perspective. So this means that you'll have a completely different view on the situation. The power of however. I'm so crap, however. The power of however at the end of your statement means that you're starting to find a solution to that negative self-talk. I'll never be able to succeed. However, I know that . It's focusing on a solution to your negative self-talk, which you're now seeking an alternative view. So what this means is that the power of however is a way of actually taking the critic, this negative self-talk, actually observing it, listening to it, but also putting the power of however at the end of it. So you mess up. I'm so stupid. Okay, I might be so stupid. However, I'm not so stupid at . I may have made a mistake here. However, I will move on from it. I'm not able to get that job. Okay, I may not be able to get that job. However, I will learn, I'll find the resources. See, with the 5 examples that have been expressed here, you don't have to use every single one, but pick or choose one, try it out, see if it works. I always find that with the coaching methods that I use, I want to make them as easy as possible because I want to find that solution quickly. I don't want to dwell on the negatives. I want to deal with it quickly. I want to move on, and I want to be back into my positive, constructive, and also capable self, feeling confident. So I hope these help. Try them out. Let me know what you think. Actually, drop me a DM at the Hack Share, and I'd love to hear from you. But also, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify or any podcast platform, I really do appreciate. And if you can subscribe and follow using those platforms, please do, because it will really help us with the rankings. If you're watching it on YouTube though, please do click the like, subscribe, and all the bells and all that kind of stuff. But I really do appreciate tuning in, and stay tuned for the next.